Dear friends, good day and welcome to this brand new series of videos called Learning Bach. Before anything else, please allow me to tell you how this project came about. Maestro Vincenzo Magia is not only one of the great Italian pianists, he is also the artistic director of a very prestigious concert series called Domeniche in Musica, which is held in the winter months every 2 Sundays at Pisa's Palazzo Blu. A few months ago, the maestro asked me to take part in his series, and of course I accepted more than gladly. Like everybody else in this business, I've been severely affected by the restriction imposed by the pandemic, and to return to public performance in such a setting, it is indeed a very edifying concept. I will play for Maestro Magia and his Domeniche in Musica on Sunday the 30th of January 2022. At 11 o'clock in the morning, Central European Time, and that concert will be also streamed online. The brief from the maestro was fairly simple. He wanted music with a narrative subtext, basically music which tells a story, and we worked together on the program that I would play, and we quickly identified a few pieces by list, but then we decided that I would open that recital with a great work by Johann Sebastian Bach, the Capriccio on the departure of his beloved brother, BWV 992. There's a small problem. I had never played that piece of music, and therefore I decided that I would take you all with me in this fairly exciting journey, which is going to be the learning process that I will go through in order to be able to perform this piece on January the 30th. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of the work, I would like to express publicly my gratitude to Maestro Magia for the opportunity not only to give yet another recital in a beautiful place, but also for the marvelous excuse to learn this great piece of music. Now, a small proviso. What I'm going to go through in these videos is simply my way of working, my way of learning new music. I hope that you will find it interesting, and perhaps some of you may pick up 1 or 2 hints about how to go about it. But by all means, this is not a recipe that is good for everybody. There are countless different methods of learning music that I am sure are as good, if not better, than mine. But as a professional musician, I only care to share with you my way of working with new music. I always start with the preliminaries. Here is a selection of books, biographies of Bach. There's Buscaroli, Schweitzer, Basso, and I have a few more in the library, which I always consult in order to get my head around the figure of the composer, the historical period in which he was active, and so on and so forth. Then, of course, we need a score, preferably different editions of the same music. And this is my own little touch, a notebook, because I never marked my score, but I take copious notes on the side. I do this to have an extra point of reference, and whenever I'm reading my music, I like it to see a very clean page. From the books, we learn that this Capriccio is an early work by Johann Sebastian Bach. The tradition has it that he wrote it to honor the departure of one of his brothers, who was going to be an oboist in the army of the King of Sweden. However, more recent scholarly research has put the story into doubt. Be that as it may, it is definitely an evocative piece of music, and if we care to have a look at the score, we find that this piece has a very special peculiarity. On the very first page of it, above the music, there's an indication which reads, "is a coaxing by his friends to induce him to give up his journey." Well, this is nothing short of being program music. Bach is telling us what this music is supposed to represent. At first sight, we can see that this music is quite densely written, full of ornamentation, but we will get to that in a moment. If we progress reading a little bit, we see that also the second movement has an indication, which reads, is a representation of various eventualities which may overtake him in foreign lands. The third piece also has a little program. It reads, is a general lament of his friends. And we can see that it's a very sparse piece of music which basso continuo numbers on it, and again we'll get to that later. The next piece is another instruction. The friends gather to take leave of him, since they see that it cannot be otherwise, and bid him farewell. At this point the program ends, but the piece does not end, because there's another little movement called aria di postiglione, postiglione being the male coach, and finally fuga all'imitazione della cornetta di posta. It's a fugue in imitation of the post horn. So how do we go about learning all this music? Well, I'm sure that everybody's got their own system, but the way I do it is more or less always the same. I must confess that I'm not exactly starting from scratch. This is a very famous piece by Bach. I've heard it played many times. On occasion I even had a look at the score. Therefore I'm not exactly side reading, but I never studied it. And therefore the first thing that I do all the time, irrespectively of the piece that I have to learn, is that I read the score away from the piano. And sometimes I do this for many hours at a time. Now, of course, over the years I have developed the capacity to hear in my head the notes that my eyes are reading. For instance, the very first phrase of this piece to me reads si, do, re, do, si, la, si, do, si, fa, fa. Forgive my singing, of course, but if we then go to the piano and I play this note, so as you can see, for reading the music, I don't actually need the instrument. And this is very important because it removes from my head the necessity of actually playing the notes. So I can concentrate on reading the score, and I can spot difficult passages, interesting harmonic changes, and so on and so forth, which will then guide my physical work on the keyboard. When we have a look at the first page of the piece, we immediately see that this music is very densely written and is full of ornamentation. Now, ornamentation is a kind of shorthand by which musicians would tell their interpreters that over certain notes they wanted to embellish the melody or the harmony according to certain codes, if you wish. Now, we remember that this piece was written in the very first few years of the 18th century. We must bear in mind the style that was predominant at the time. Now, here we are in luck, because Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach, one of Johann Sebastian's sons, wrote a pretty exhaustive book as to the interpretation of ornaments. And therefore, unless we know that already, we can refer to the book by Carl Philipp Emanuel to have an idea of what we are meant to do with these mysterious signs. Going on reading, I can see that there are a lot of passages in parallel sixth. Now, we better open the piano for this, because sixth are intervals of sixth tones. Now, they are quite uncomfortable to play because they stretch the hand far enough that it is not always possible to actually play all the voices legato without gaps. And particularly on bar 5 of the piece, I spotted something that puzzles me quite a lot. There is a mordent, which is basically one of the shorthand signs that tells us to, on a G, instead of play just the G, we have to play a little embellishment. passage is in parallel sixth, so the note before is below is a B flat, and it also has a mordent. Not only that, at the same time, we have to play the B flat below. So, going slowly, what should happen is this. Now, irrespectively of how huge your hand is, the right hand can simply not perform this mordent on a sixth quickly enough. It's extremely uncomfortable. It's contrary to all sense of keyboard playing, and therefore I very much suspect that this piece was written for a keyboard instrument with a pedal board. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean the pipe organ. At Bach's time, there were pedal cembalos where you could play a few notes using your feet. And this parallel sixth passages is very typical of music written for a keyboard instrument with a pedal board. We find it very often in Bach's organ music. We almost never find it in his cembalo music. There are a few passages like this in the toccatas, which are, the non plus ultra of his keyboard virtuosity, but they're virtually absent from the partitas, the English suite, the French suites. Sometimes it happens in fugues, because fugues are meant to be developed according to certain strict rules, but this is a very free piece of music, and therefore these are my 2 cents. I think he wrote it with having in mind an instrument with a pedal board. Now that we have read the music away from the piano, and we have spotted a few places which may be problematic, it's the time to try and put our hands on the keyboard and see how we're going to solve some of these problems. Shall we try? This is, of course, a very immature reading of the piece, but is indeed very important because I'm sure you spotted it, but I realized that in several places I actually need to practice and figure out a way of solving some of this problem. I am pretty sure that I will play all these parallel sixths not with one hand alone, but I will redistribute the notes between the two hands as much as possible, because like this I will be able to achieve the legato quality to the sound that I believe this piece requires. So without going into too much details, I think this is what it should sound like. Still not happy. This is not good. Better, but still not good. The general way. Also, as in virtually the totality of Bach's music, we have absolutely no indication of dynamic. There's no piano, no forte, no crescendo, no diminuendo, absolutely nothing. Bach is only giving us the notes. Now, this very much depends on your own inclination, but I am generally averse to playing music in black and white. I think that it is our work as interpreter to apply little touches of color, and in early 18th century music, of course, we cannot do as much as we would do with Rachmaninoff for early 20th century music, but we still need to find a little bit of variety in these texts. This we can do with phrasing, but also as we play the piano with gradation of tone, of intensity. Often in Baroque music, it is an accepted idea to create echo effects, which means to play the same thing first loud and then quietly. I'm not so sold on that. Sometimes I do it, but not as a rule. I think that we can get a lot more affect, as they say, a lot more expression by little inflections in the phrasing, for instance. An example could be this. Whereby when we go to the D, we reach a high point, we reach a peak. This is a very interesting little figure because it is a marvelous representation of all these friends pleading the guy not to leave. And obviously, the first is one of the friends is saying, please don't go. And then everybody joins in. Interesting, Bach's give us the opposite ornament. When there's the solo expressing his wish, it's a lower mordant. When they all join in, is an upper mordant. So this itself creates quite a bit of variety, and if we put our own 2 cents in, perhaps we can have a little echo effect here, and we can choose either to have the solo enunciating loudly and everybody murmuring together, something like this. Or indeed, vice versa, the solo suggests and everybody joins in full glory. The final decision, of course, is going to be made by a compromise between personal taste, ease of performance, contextual validity, and so on and so forth. I am absolutely not ready to make that decision right now. I'm just reading the piece. I need to think about it and study a little more. But indeed, in the next few days, I will report on my progress. Reading through the remainder of the piece, we encounter a very beautiful passage where basically the right hand is repeating the same pleading figure over a descending bass on the left hand, which creates a magical moment. I mean, this is a moment of genius. Truly magical, but of course I do feel the need to do something with it. I don't just want to play it straight and leave it hanging in the air. I want to somehow underline the beauty and the importance of this moment. And again, there's more than one way to do that. One which I like very much is to change color at the right moment. So as we approach the piece, maybe we have fairly full sonority, no? This is one way. Of course, we can do the opposite. For instance, if I repeat exactly the same phrase, we do a little echo effect and then we go into the special passage with full force. Again, final decision will be taken a little bit later. Eventually, we read the end of the piece, which again is very interesting. It's the same sort of pleading figure which goes up the keyboard and eventually resolves into the chord of B flat major with the final embellishment. So now we've had a little bit of notions about the problem or the various tricky spots of the piece. I think we should try and play it again, trying to remember what we discussed earlier in terms of ornamentation, sound differentiation, phrasing, and so on and so forth. But bear in mind, it's still very early days. But something like this. Now, of course, I have my work cut out because I need to practice all this, and indeed, I need to read the remainder of the piece. But I think for our first episode, this should suffice. I will practice this and report to you in a few days, I don't know when, as to my progress. Just for your information, my way of practicing is extremely boring. I play everything dead slowly, making sure that I capture all the detail of the music. This also helps me to memorize my music, which is very important because you see, concert situations are the prime example of the very famous Murphy's Law, which states that if something can go wrong, it definitely will. One thing is to make music in the sanctity of our own studio, and another thing is to make music in a theater or in a concert hall. Let me give you a few examples. Perhaps often audience are talkative and you're trying to concentrate but you hear whispering, no good. Oftentimes we get particularly gentlemen in the front row with coins in their pocket, and they seem to have this irresistible temptation to play with their coins. And of course, you hear it as you are trying to play your music. Not good. In the summer, it is often happened that people use the program as a fan. And of course, if your eyes are distracted by this, this is not good either. And then there is an array of other things that can go wrong. Doors slamming, people coughing, people sneezing, which of course in this climate is particularly worrisome, and so on and so forth. Therefore, the musician ought to be rock solid in his or her knowledge of See you soon.